Welcome back, my lovely coffee beans, and we are back on track with another lovely run in EDA. And let me tell you, I was useless. I will be honest with you, my loadout. We had this week. We had Ember, technically the Dread, but I don't have the Incarnate installed, so yeah. We had the Spear, don't have the Incarnate, technically not too bad, and we had Nikana. I used the next Nikana. I did a one former quick melee influence build. I did decent, I would say, for that. I did a Eclipse Tanky Ember loaded. Actually, that was not too bad. I sometimes struggled a bit with energy. I felt like I had no energy drop at all while I was running Simpty Construct and Death Cube. So it should have been like no issue, but for some reason it was an issue. For modifier in total this week, we have hypersensitive, duration of negative status effect is tripled. We have transference distortion, so we can't go into operator or drifter. We have knife syndrome, lose health while moving, jumping, pause effect. And we have energy exhaustion, lose energy per second for each enemy within 10 meters of you. I had that not on, so I did not choose that. So that should have not affected me at all. But what I also did not see were any enemies dropping energy, so I don't know what was going on. So, besides that, we're ignoring it. It was fine in the end. For the survival, life support towers are only activated after 20 enemies have been killed within a 50-minute radius of that. I did not care for that. As rogue, acrocanides charge attacks when pull warframes towards them. Did not realize anything. Rogue, equip weapons that deal 5 times damage to Overguard and Necromax. Do not care for that as well. As always, you can kill Necromax to lower the time, right? Mirror defense. The security system requires twice as many Phosphine glyphs. That's usually just annoying, but besides that, it's okay. Guardian Eximus units may be encountered, including Guardian Eximus Necromax. I don't know if I actually realized that as an issue, but it might be. Allies within 4 meters, light enemies gain fire rate and cost ammo efficiency. Was there. I did not pay attention to that. Alchemy. 10% enemies are equipped with an impervious elemental barrier that can be destroyed when amped for. Never pay attention to that. All enemies have overguard equal to 50% of their max health. I think I did realize that because of melee influence. Vampiric Limiters, that was the only annoying thing, because I actually did have to pay a bit of attention, because, while I'm a tanky Ember, I'm not immortal. It's not Gauss immortal, but yeah. Was not too bad. And don't forget to buy your shard from Birdie Bird, and have fun watching. Bye-bye! So, here we go. First things first is survival. Usually what we're doing if we have gear wheel, as you know, we are dropping all of the supports. We are dropping our energy pads, we are dropping our specters, we are going full in. We do usually have both Dante Specters, ancient guards, whatever you need, whatever you feel like. It is not that it's hard, we are just going absolutely lazy mode. If I'm in lazy mode, we are going lazy mode. We want to, do as less work as we can, so having all of that, because ancient guards, if you don't have overguard, still will give you, protection from getting knocked over, so it's, extra one. Shield runs will help you have your shield gate more up, so you need to worry less about that. Your unclogged member can help you kill the Necromax. Really helpful if you're wondering about that. So you can, especially if you go into a full group and you all have gear wheel, you can talk about who's dropping their crew member first to make sure that you are on a rotation, because if you call the on-call, not the on-call, please don't kill your on-call. If you kill the Necromax, you will take down the time that you have in there, right? So it is making it a lot easier. Yes, you can see we are reducing for each Necromax we're killing the timer by 45 seconds, which is actually quite a lot, From time to time, I do actually hit a tiny bit of damage, which is, on the other hand, I do have a Citrine in my team, So currently, I think, if I remember correctly, yes, the other person is playing a Citrine, so I do have a little bit of a boost. Because my Dex Nikana is not fully built, I could actually finish building my Dex Nikana, I should definitely write down, a little list of weapons if I run around. I do still have to finish building my second Wisp for arbitration, because I'm currently working on having a full Wisp and a full Mirage simply built for arbitration, but I do already finish my wisp for that. No, Zareen. Now I'm completely, mixing up. But, we could also work on, actually our room. I could check today on stream later, what we have for our room. So I can farm, some Palace Clams to finally put the, dread on. Because I do have the Arcana Adapter technically available. But, yeah, if you're wondering, survival as always, try to reduce the time as much as possible if you're able to. But besides that, play what you're comfortable. You can obviously always take all modifier and swap a weapon out or a Warframe out. Here I was actually wondering why I did not do that. Because I did not have any weapons where I felt really comfortable. But since I did have a melee influence build on the Nikana and it kind of was fitting, it was actually kind of okay. And I knew that my Ember on the tank build is actually kind of survivable. And I am really comfortable on Ember for that, so I don't feel too bad on it. Here I dropped my crew member to kill that Jade Eximus a bit quicker. And I think sadly my crew member is dying next round, but that's beside the point. But yeah, if you're wondering why sometimes my survival missions in EDA seems a bit faster, it is because we are able to kill the necromechs that we are calling. So each time we're killing them, we are reducing the timer by 45 seconds. Which makes it really nice and fast and smooth. Smooth like butter, like a cream. Like that. Yes, I don't use my Ember for full potential, but that is also because partially I do struggle with energy this run a lot. I don't know why, but I do feel like the enemies are not dropping energy. If you actually pay attention, you do see them barely dropping energy particles, while I do have... Oh, I actually don't have Death Cube on. I just realized that I do have a Devriga on. But I do have Synth Deconstruct on. So... But I just realized I do have... I was saying originally in the intro that I was running Death Cube, but I was originally... then maybe yes, because Ember is really energy hungry. And Ember is really one of the frames that are actually really energy hungry. So maybe that's the explanation. But I still feel like for the amount of... yeah, I don't know. I don't want to say, oh, it should be more energy. But I still feel with Synth Deconstruct, it feels like it should be a bit more energy. But maybe the KPM is not high enough, actually. It's hard to judge. Also, I would need to check again, if I have a Tau Forge Equilibrium shard onto her or a normal one, because I do think I don't run a full Equilibrium on that build. There, my crew member went down, and I felt so bad, actually. Because that Necroman, full force had into her, bada boom, boosh, and, yeah, I feel honestly really bad for her. I do honestly feel really bad for my crew member. But, I can't judge anything for it. I can just say rip and, hope that she will rest well till, she is being called after her rest period, Yep. And here I'm, being really helpful with my melee influence from time to time. And, yeah, sometimes I am helpful, sometimes not. To be fair, we were aware that my weapons are not great. We're fully aware of that. I will not lie. When I went in, I knew that my loadout was shit. So, I'm not saying that Nikana is bad. That's not what I'm saying. Before anyone is commenting, Nikana is not shit. It is simply not built. I have a 1 former on, I don't want to hear anyone, By the way, it was directly after, Monday reset. That's why I just finished the 500 kills. I'm a bit late with doing my voiceover, but that is fine. You will see it now. There we go. I think that is actually the last one we're doing. Also, I think we had 3 Jade Light Eximuses in a row, and I was excuse me, why do we have 3 in a row? That was ridiculously mean to give us 3 freaking in a row. Really ridiculous. Better than Arctic ones that make you really weirdly slow, but still 3. Really. Oh yeah, and then there was that weird Bone Widow coming through the party, and I was why are there 2? Excuse me, why are there 2 at the same time? But anyway, I guess we had to live with it. And as you can see, you know, the actually like all of our like, you know, supports, all of our specters are actually carrying us because we are constantly having overguard, we're constantly having our shield regen. Obviously Eclipse is carrying as well because I do use the defense version of Eclipse, so it is really like helpful, but you know, it is really nice, not gonna lie, to have so specters. Specters are carrying. If you struggle in EDA, and if you have the ability or like, you know, the capacity for it, use specters. Use a Dante Spectre, use your on-call crew, use shield drones, you know. It is insane. If you struggle with energy, you could also use a Protea Spectre, you know, or like a Wisp for like, you know, health. If you don't have Dante as far, but like really specters are like so nice. Here I'm running. Usually I would cut it out, but now I talked about stuff, so you have to like see me walking the rest of the 100 meters. I'm sorry. Usually I would cut it out to make it like, you know, a little bit smoother and faster, but yep. And we got, drumroll, you don't see it. It's blue and red. So behind my head, behind my lovely body is a blue shard. So we got in total a purple shard. So really nice. Really smooth. And here we go. We are going for the mobile defense now. Oh, there you go. You see the blue. Bye, Dante. I just threw you off. You were thinking what I want to do else, but like I was like, do I need anything else? And then I was like, nah. And then I was like, I'll drop my like on-call in a second. But I wanted to wait till like on-call is like on a timer, right? Inspectors are not. On-call is on timer. So I was like, I will wait till like actually the enemies are here before I drop my on-call. So I don't waste my on-call as much. And like, you know, fun fact, I make my on-call stay. Guess who like forgot to like take their on-call, wish to the like other side and got scolded for it? Like, you should have like just let it follow you. And I was like, yeah, but then I jump around. Yeah, no. You know the conversation. You can probably like imagine the conversation, right? Yeah. Exactly like that. Exactly like that. Exactly like that. It happened. I don't know. You know, one day I will learn it. One day I will not forget my on-call. I felt bad a bit. Just a bad. But you know, it's fine. It's fine. And at one point, it takes like a lot of damage, but I don't know if it's this side. No, I think it's the other side where it's taking like a lot of damage. But I don't know why. I can't remember why it took a lot of damage. I think it was the other side that took a lot of damage, and then randomly, maybe we like didn't see like an enemy or something. But yeah. Bop. I don't know if I like mobile defense or not, because on one hand, my biggest issue with mobile defense, I find like the sides really unbalanced, because I find this side really easy because you actually have like points you can hold to make it like nearly impossible for the enemies to get to the defense spot, because here you do actually have these two hallways, and if you hold them, they're like so easy to hold, while the other side is way more open, right? So I do find the sides are quite unbalanced. But like on the other hand, it's taking like again really long to do mobile defense, and I feel like mobile defense is one of the few things where it really depends on your loadout, if you have a rough time or not, because you do need some sort of AoE to not struggle. Like in the weeks where I do have like any type of glaive, it is so easy. It is literally so easy. Or if I had Zaku, for example, right? But for some reason, I never have Zaku. Oh, I'm moving. Give me a second. For some reason, I never have Zaku when there's just like, you know, mobile defense and survival or something. Then I never have Zaku. But I was like, say, I could just like, you know, stand in the middle as Zaku and like be like a absolutely menace as Zaku and being like absolutely lazy, and then like, but no, then I don't get. Then obviously I don't get Zaku, but like, you know, it's fine. I had Zaku yesterday when I did my level cap, so I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely chill with that. I don't mind that. By the way, Devriga carrying. Doriga absolutely carrying, you know. Actually, you know, it's my... Here it's taking immense damage, and I don't see why. Do you see, like, how much damage it's taking? And I can't tell you why it took so much damage for some reason. Did it get, like... Can the defense object getting red proc from something? I don't know, but you saw how much damage it take all of a sudden? And I felt like there was no enemy, like, close enough, actually, but I don't know. I lost, like, half of its health, like, in an instance, like... But yeah. Weird. Back to the topic. I don't know. Oh yeah, Zaku. Zaku level cap. Was a smooth one. Partially. I went down once. The second one was, I knew that I would go down. I already anticipated that I would go down because I used my running card because of the relic screen. So, yeah. We're moving. But I do enjoy playing Zaku. Zaku is a great frame. Ember as well. Don't get me wrong. Lots of frames are great. But... Zaku is still, like, you know... Probably also because Zaku were, like, one of the frames where I'm, like, actually where... Like... I was brave enough to get, like, away from Revenant. So, like, I played Revenant and Nyx, you know, really safe frames and Loki. And then I, like, started to play Zaku. So Zaku was, like, one of the first frames where I'm, like, started to, like, play more outside of, like, the super safe frames, right? Maybe because that's why I like Zaku, like, so much. So maybe that's Zaku's, like, holding, like, a special place in my heart. Also, Zaku scale, it's insane. Like, the amount of damage you can do with... By the way, if you're wondering why I was jumping away from the glyphs or not collecting them, we're currently at 81. We want to, like, heal the other side, so we're currently not collecting more of the glyphs. So when we go over in a second, we're collecting the... There I'm, like, still a bit mad at myself because I should have not collected the glyphs while we were walking over. I should have only collected them when I was already over there. So because that way I started the protection area a tiny bit early, and that annoyed me a bit. But, you know, I can't change it. I was not ideal, but we still healed it. So, and, like, we didn't struggle anything. So it's fine. But, like, I could have played it better. I could indeed have played it better. And we're moving. See, this thing is now active already. Before the enemies are even, like, you know, arriving. So, yes, it healed a lot, as you can see. But I also, like, wonder if it would have been not better if I collected these ones to activate it instead of the ones on the way. But on the other hand, you know, it doesn't really matter. It's like still like a minute that we have to survive, and then we go to go. And then, you know, we're more or less completely, you know, done. So mobile defense is usually actually fine. Like, sometimes we do struggle. I feel like when you have the vampiric leech, what are called? These ones, Luminous. If you have these ones, they are annoying. If you have Luminous with mobile defense, they are really annoying. That's I think is one of the worst modifiers. I think they barely happen. Like, I barely had Luminous with mobile defense, but I still think they are like the worst combination. Because you do sometimes want to, like, stay obviously close to the defense target, and then the Luminous are also, like, because they're walking towards you, you know, that they are staying there. Like, yeah, definitely a worse combination. But besides that, I don't mind mobile defense. I still think, honestly, survival because of how long they are. Alchemy, if they have weird modifier, I think Luminous in general are one of the worst modifier. Because, like, Alchemy with Luminous are also really annoying. Because the Luminous, for some reason, always do tend to, like, stay directly where you have to throw. So when you try to get a little bit closer to the vessel, you do tend to like walk into the luminous quite a lot. We only got a red shard, but we did get like a red shard. So I will not say only. I'm sorry that I said that. We did get a red shard, so I should be thankful because we got a red shard. So hell yeah, we got another shard. So you know, shard supremacy. Here we go. We already dropped all of our stuff, all of our specters, and we're going to the vessel now. I don't know why I do tend to kill these enemies here. I can't tell you. It's not really smart of me to try that. Once again, here you can also use your on-call crew to like help your wave clear. I think I will even drop my on-call crew in a second. You know, Alchemy, you know the idea, to throw the amphors there. Do be a bit careful. You can throw them as operator if you want to. But besides that, just try to kill as much as you can. I would say generally ignore the ones that you can't kill because of the element that you need to throw at them, because that simply takes a lot of time away. So I usually tend to ignore them. Besides that, I still tend to like apparently hit them, as you can see now on stream, because I do not, you know, pay attention to it. But don't try to kill these ones. Usually it doesn't matter. There are like enough enemies around you that you can still, you know, get all of the elemental force that you need. It is sometimes a bit annoying because yes, at one point there are like a lot of them that are like ripping up. Limiters, by the way, also take away your energy, so not only like your life, also your energy. So if you're wondering why you run out of energy a lot when you do have levels with limiters, it is because of the limiters. So do be a bit careful with that, because you will not be as easy shield gating when they're close. But yeah. As you can see, also like if you're wondering, it does take longer if you're 4 people. You do have to like hit or like throw in more amphors. So the amount of amphors you need to throw in scales per person that is joining your group. So 4 people need to have way more amphors throwing in than 1 or 2 people. That is literally a thing. So if you're wondering, yes, you as a full squad have to like put in more stuff than we do have as a 2 squad. But that's not the reason we're doing as a 2 squad. We usually just don't run public stuff. If you ever like need help, by the way, feel free to come into chat. Then we can like talk about your loadout, or I don't mind to run another EDA with you where I do run random stuff and I do help a full squad for you to like finish your EDA if you really struggle with your loadout. I don't mind to do that here and there. So I really don't mind to help you all guys from time to time. I usually will still do my EDA, ETA off stream on Monday resets directly. I usually don't like to stream that because some stuff I simply do like to have my own thing, whereas, you know, because someone asked me that on stream. Some stuff I'm allowed to do myself, right? I also find it more chill to like simply have a voiceover for here, and because then I can actually like, you know, concentrate a bit on EDA, ETA, because if you go down in EDA, EDA, right, you do have to like, if your teammates can't pick you up immediately, you do have to pay attention because you can't get picked, or you can't pick yourself up. You do have to defeat a Void Angel, so that is a bit annoying. So you do have to be way more careful with EDA, ETA. Not that that really ever like happened in a long time. I think that happened like in the beginning for me, like once or twice, I will not lie. But after that, like usually I do have like a setup where I either don't go down, or if I go down, I'm still like close enough that my teammate can still pick me up, to be fair. It does happen that I still go down sometimes. I will be honest. You saw it like last week with Mesa, how many times I went down because I absolutely despised playing Mesa. So that I will not lie. I will not say like I'm perfect. I'm not going down. Going down in this game is absolutely normal. Like, let's not like pretend like something is perfect and you don't go down, right? Let's not like idolize stuff like, oh, it's, you know, you should never go. No. We're not starting with that behavior here, okay, guys? That is, you know, it's a game. You're allowed to make mistakes. It's normal to make mistakes, right? Nothing wrong with that. Going down is normal. Don't feel bad about it. But make sure that your teammates can pick you up. When you go down, mark the spot where you're going up, because sadly the waypoint system for going down where your body is, it's not ideal. It is quite buggy, so make sure that you mark yourself when you go down, especially when you use last grasp, because then your waypoint a lot of the times will disappear. So your teammates can still find your body. So your teammates don't have to fight a Void Angel to get you back, because that would be even more annoying and time consuming, because you all do want to like run a EDA ETA as fast as possible, right? It is a team thing to do. Most of you will run it as a team, which is, by the way, absolutely fair, right? What else? Try to be comfortable. Communicate if you can. Warframe has a team, like a chat, right? So do chat if you have something up. If you feel uncomfortable with something, try to chat about it. And have fun, And, if all of the modifiers are too much, you still can untoggle some modifiers. Same with netracells. If they are too much, they are still fine. Even EDA with not all modifiers are still better than the rewards from one netracell run. So even if you can't run like the full modifier except of one because the phosphorus is not worth it, investing into EDA is still better than running the netracells, the two netracells. So definitely do your EDA. And we got a tile for Tread and a melee duplicate, but we ignore the melee duplicate. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a wonderful time. I hope your EDA ETL went well. You will see now the whole overview of EDA ETA. Keep in mind that is EDA ETA. Have a wonderful week and let me know how it was for you. And see you next week with that. Bye bye.